Mm-mm. Hola, mis amores. It's your Nori Pouncil. I am the guiding light and spiritual teacher to intuitive leaders that are putting themselves first. These are the leaders that are trusting their intuition no matter what, being the most authentic version of themselves, overflowing with inner peace, and enjoying themselves every single step of the way. And today I'm here with you to put you on game on all the goodies. We're going to be talking about the purpose of friendships. So if you're here for that, you are in the right place, Miss Amores. This is actually episode number 21 of my ongoing 45-day series I've been hosting here on my YouTube channel called The Path to Inner Peace. And the theme that we've been uncovering this week has been growing in relationships. And this is actually the last episode of this week where we're going to be covering relationships. So I am excited for this one. I'm going to be sharing some things with you that I really know are going to serve you and uplift you in your relationships, whether they are platonic or romantic. So I'm excited you're here. Let's do a quick vibe check. Let's see how we are feeling. You know, I love to do this so that you can get an opportunity to step into your body from within. So take a deep breath with me. And when you are ready, feel it into your heart. Exhale. And if you are feeling generous, I would like to encourage you to share in the comments below what came up for you. I learned from Eckhart Tolle that sometimes all it takes is one breath for us to really see what's going on and tap into our consciousness. So that's why I like doing these things with y'all on the videos. Who's gonna get the most out of this conversation today? Now that we've checked on our spirits, on how our spirits are doing, and we are clear on how we're tapping into this conversation, let's talk about who's gonna get the most out of it. The people that are gonna get the most out of today's conversation are gonna be those of you that are intuitive leaders mastering the art of inner peace. This is for those of you that are committed to being the most joyful, abundant, authentic, confident version of yourself in every single area of your life. And you desire to take this approach of living, overflowing with inner peace, overflowing with mental calm, and feeling really great about who you are being in the world, being the best version of you. If that's you, you're gonna get the most out of this because this is who I create for. This is who I am. That is the person that I've become. Those are the patterns I've experienced. So I can speak to them because that has been my story. Before I understood the purpose of friendships, my relationships look completely different than they do today. And today I'm actually going to talk to you about four of my friends and the dynamics of our relationships and how they have helped shape me. Because these relationships have changed a lot over the years. These people have been in my life from 13 years to over 30 years. So a lot of change has occurred in those relationships, and there are some things I've learned from that I want to share with you today. Before I understood the purpose of friendships, because I didn't always understand the purpose of friendships, and when I didn't understand the purpose of friendships, my relationships were like, I'm not even gonna front, they were low-key a mess because I was really focused on being the perfect friend. I was the person that had 10 things scheduled in one weekend, and none of them included time to recharge, to reset, because I was so focused on being the person that was available. I was so committed to being the friend that people could not live without. Because if I was that friend, then they wouldn't abandon me. So I was hiding underneath these relationships. I was hiding how I was really feeling about myself and the things I was fearing myself because I didn't understand what was the purpose of these relationships. And then I held my friends to these wild expectations of who they needed to be, of how they needed to show up. None of that was in alignment with who I really desired to be and how I desired to show up in the world. So it was not popping, y'all. It was not popping. And for those of you that are intuitive leaders just like me, let me tell you what this looked like for us because this is why this joy matters. When I did not understand the purpose of friendships, I was embodying, getting caught up in that energy of people pleasing heavy. And I was doing all the things for everybody. And I see this with my clients too. That's one of the reasons why they come and work with me, because they want to put themselves first in their relationships. They want to stop scheduling all these things in their calendar that don't include them, that don't lead with them. And that's where we find ourselves when we move in this way, when we're not aware of how these things work. And when we know the purpose of friendships, when we become clear on the gift that friendships bring into our lives, everything changes. We go from feeding that energy of people pleasing, feeling angry and feeling resentful because people aren't doing for us what we are doing for them, to meeting people where they are, to accepting that everybody moves at their own pace, to being okay, not over delivering in the hopes that we're not going to be abandoned, to loving and caring for people from a space of unconditional love. And that's what's been possible for me. And it has allowed me to step into my relationships a lot more calmly. It has allowed me to be willing to be uncomfortable in my relationships to help them grow. And that is just the tip of the iceberg of what has happened in my life. And that's why we're talking about this today, y'all, because the key here is to focus on growing and learning instead of expectations and sugarcoating. And I want to walk you through what that process looks like, because I know that when you are clear on what the process looks like, you're going to show up differently, because that's how you are. You move just like me in the world. As soon as you know a piece of information that serves you and that helps you have that aha moment that it just clicks, you take action and you apply. That's what makes you different than everybody else. And that's why you're here. That's why you and I on the same frequency, boo. Because that's how I move as well. So here's what you're going to learn today. I'm going to share with you the number one reason why growing and learning from my friendships is a non-negotiable for me. Then I'm going to walk you through what growing and learning from my friendships looks like for me on the path to inner peace, especially as an intuitive leader, because I focus on getting my insight from within. So I look at people from that same approach. Then I'm going to walk you through the 3 ways growing and learning from my friendships has made my life 1,000 times better. And I hope you're ready, because I got some stories for you today. And if you're staying with me to the end, I'm going to share with you the best way to grow and learn from your friendships full of inner peace and calm, because that's what I desire for you. This path can be journeyed in that way. And I want to show you what that looks like. I want to open you up to those possibilities. So before I jump into the gems for today, I want to talk to those of you that are ready to prioritize yourself and put yourself first in your relationships. Those of you that are desiring to show up more powerfully in the bonds that you are creating with your family that you were born into, or your chosen family that I know you love and appreciate and cherish so much because of how much they mean to you. If that is you, I want to make you an invitation right now, because the moment is now. The time is now. Below this video, there is a link to book an authenticity audit with me. These are called authenticity audits because these conversations are focused on ensuring that you are living the most authentic version of your life, and that you're stepping into this life of yours, trusting your intuition, putting yourself first, and overflowing with inner peace. And when you move like this, you are able to experience things from a different perspective. You are able to tap into a part of yourself that you have been yearning to tap into before. And this is for the person that is focused on trusting their intuition at a deeper level, that desires to face triggers no matter what and do it with calm. This is for you if you desire to nourish your body with compassion and self-discipline. This is for you if you are focused on releasing borrowed beliefs that are no longer serving you, especially for those of you that are grounded and committed in building and co-creating healthy, loving relationships with your friends and people in your life, or even complete strangers. It's so powerful when complete strangers can just feel your energy and get to sit in that overflow. So if that's you, then these calls are for you. These authenticity audits are for you. If you're serious about putting yourself first, if you're serious about being the best version of yourself, if you're serious about showing up authentically, no matter what, and doing it with joy, doing it with fun, doing it with excitement, then these calls are going to be for you, and you want to make sure that you apply for one of them. To apply, you want to click on the description box below, and let's go create some magic in your life. So here's the story I have for you today. When I was putting this episode together, when I was sitting with what I wanted to share in this episode, I was getting very emotional. And as you can tell, I'm feeling quite a bit emotional right now because my friendships, y'all, are some of my most cherished relationships. There has been quite a bit of adjusting to my birth family, and my chosen family has been the family that has helped me journey a lot of this adjustment. And I hold them so dear to my heart because of that. I want to tell you about my relationships with my friends and how they have helped me grow. I have a few friends, and so I have a really extensive circle, and I feel really blessed because there are at least 24 people I can call that can be there for me. And at least a dozen of these people are people that are really close friends with me. And I want to tell you today about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. The first one of my friends I want to talk to you about is each one of these friends brought me a different lesson. And I'm going to share each friend with you throughout this video to share with you what those lessons have been and how they have helped serve me. So first thing I want to talk to you about is why growing and learning from my friendships is a non-negotiable for me. To share that with you, I want to tell you about one of my best friends, and her name is Joy Marie. And Joy Marie and I have been best friends since we were in undergraduate school. We just hit it off right away. I feel like we just hit it off right away. And we have been friends since summer 2005. So it's been a while that me and this person have been really, really great friends. And Jo Marie was also the maid of honor at my wedding. She's been such a light in my life. And she's one of she actually has showed me the number one reason why learning and growing, it's a non-negotiable in my relationships. Because through my relationship with Jo Marie, I've learned to really see myself differently. We have been friends for such a long time since we were undergraduates in college, and we've grown a lot through the years. We have shifted things about our lives, and we have gone in different directions. And throughout the entire time, my relationship with her continues to be one of my most grounding relationships that I have. Because the thing that she always reminds me of is to ground myself in my faith. And as she grows and becomes this light, she's already a light in the world, but she expands her light in the world more and more. I am reminded of the beauty of showing up like that. And because I am open to my friend being who she is and showing up in the way that she does, we have been able to grow from really gossipy teenagers to these women that are so focused on empowering other people, that are so focused on being vessels for growth and transformation, that are grounded in such a loving, beautiful way. And it is because I've been willing to learn from those relationships. I've been willing to learn from her, from who she is. In the moments where she has challenged me, and she has, I've been open to change. I'll never forget this. And I don't even know if she remembers that I remember this. There was this conversation I had with her in my freshman year in college, and she was like, "You're rude." And I was like, "What? I'm from New York. I'm a girl from the Bronx. I know I bring energy." And I was so shocked that she said that to me. I was so shocked that she would call me out on that because I'm like, I'm not rude. I just say it like it is. And at the same time, she was right. I didn't have to deliver like that. And since she told me that, I've held that. And I've been intentional about deciding not that there's something wrong with it. It's that in alignment with me. It's that the type of person that I desire to be. And when I sit and I sit with my relationships and my friendships, and I think specifically about Joy Marie, I'm immensely grateful for her because she has showed me how powerful it is to be grounded in my faith and reminds me of how important that is for this walk of life. And she continues to call me out. And that's what I love about her. That's what these things are non-negotiable for me, because I've grown so much just from this one person I just shared with you. And I'm scratching the surface on the last 20 plus years that we've been friends together. And this is really the reason why I know it has to happen, because we are growing, we are learning. I'm committed to the path of growth and learning. And I learned from everything. In my relationships, my chosen family are at the heart of that. I want to talk to you about what growing and learning from my friendships looks like for me as a thought leader in the path to inner peace. And to do that, I want to tell you about I'm gonna tell you about the men the men in my life that are some of my closest friends. The men in my life have taught me quite a bit. There are three of them I'm gonna share with you today. Growing and learning from my friendships has really looked like being authentic. It has to look like allowing me to be authentic and allowing them to be authentic without me pushing who I think they need to be on them. And this is a lesson that I learned from my husband, JP. JP is the type of person that he is authenticity in a bottle. Like, I am a very authentic person, but my husband, he takes it to a whole nother level. And the thing that makes JP different, the thing that I admire about him is his ability to be. He is unshaken by the environment. He's able to just remember who he is and the power of who he is and the authenticity of who he is. And learning from my friendships has to look like seeing this person in their authentic self-expression and being willing to embrace it. Especially in the moments where I don't want to. There are moments where JP's authenticity is what I may perceive to be in conflict with what I desire for him. There are moments where I want him to be with Sage and he want to be doing his own solo thing. And he wants me to be with Sage. In those moments, it's up to me to decide how I will show up. And what he has showed me and continues to show me all the time is the power of choosing yourself and being authentic to that. And it's a lesson that I'm so grateful he brings to me, because at times I lose sight of that. And because I have him in my life, I'm reminded that that's really important for me to stay focused on. Another way that growing and learning from my friendships looks like for me is remembering that I've always been this way. That I've always been someone that is fun to be around, that is joyful, that is challenging, and that loves people. My best friend from high school, his name is Kevin, and Kevin and I have known each other since 2001, I believe. And he has been in my life ever since. We hit it off right away. We've just been soulmates since. And he has been another light in my life. And the other day, Kevin sent me a reel. And in this reel, there was a conversation from a podcast, and somebody was expressing how they felt about them. And he was sending me that to share how he felt about me. And the one thing that Kevin has always reminded me of is that I've been this way since I was in high school. Because when you're on the path to inner peace, there's a lot of doubt that comes in. There's a lot of questioning of yourself that comes in. There's a lot of wondering and fears. And I've talked about these things before here, like the people pleasing, the overthinking, the wanting to all the things. Like, there's a lot of that involved when you're choosing to live this way. And there are moments when I forget that this is how I've always been, because of the weight that I perceive that to be on my shoulders. And because I allow myself to have people in my life and I see them for who they are, and I allow myself to be poured into by these people, I'm able to see. When I forget, I'm able to be reminded that I've always been this way. That I've always been the person that is encouraging you to do what lights you up. That I've always been the person that encourages you to show up authentically and boldly. That I've always been the person that encourages you to take ownership of your life and live it on your own terms. Don't do what people want you to do. Do the thing that lights you the fuck up. And I forget that shit. When life gets, what I would say now, crazy for lack of a better term, I lose sight of that. When I get caught up in what's happening with my son or my husband or my family, I get caught up on that. And I lose sight of who I am. And that I've always been this person, and that I have nothing to prove to anybody, including myself. Because I've always been this way. And Kevin reminds me of that all the time. He literally always tells me, babes, you've been doing this since I met you. You've always been the person. I called you my personal Oprah because I can call you and you're going to walk me through things. I called you my personal advisor because you were always going to look out for me in this way. Like, I call you when I desire to have a insight from someone who's going to be objective and who's going to have my best interest at heart. And I've been doing this since I was in high school. And that is so important to have on this path to inner peace, y'all, because that's what the purpose of these relationships are. It is for them to remind us of who we are, of how we show up in the world, and that we have always been this way, and that we can really amplify those parts of us that light us up. And that's the gift that Kevin has brought me over the years, and that's why I'm so grateful for him, and I appreciate him, and I love him. And when he watches this video, he'll be like, girl, I didn't even know you was going to say all of that. But I do. You're so amazing. And I'm so grateful for you. Another way that growing and learning has looked like for me is sitting in the power of my words. I've learned this from my friends. The friend that comes to mind is Ilbert. Ilbert and I are from the same town in Honduras, although that's not where we met. We met here in the States. And we're both Garifunas. We're both what people will consider role models in our community. Garifunas are an ethnic group that is based in Central America. We're based all over the world now because of so much migration, but we are from the part of Garifunas that are from Honduras. And Ilbert and I have been friends. I think he's the one that I've known the shortest time. We've been friends since about 2009, I want to say. And we've just been friends ever since because he has such an infectious spirit. He is such fun to be around, loves to dance, loves to be the life of the party. He's from the Bronx as well. So we have that whole New York energy going. And if you've been around New Yorkers, you know what it is. And what I love about Ilbert and what he continues to constantly remind me of, y'all, is that my words are powerful. What I've learned from our relationship is how powerful my words are. Every year for his birthday, we call each other. Or I call him, and he calls me for my birthday. So I call him for his birthday, and I speak over him. I speak life over him. I share with him the things I desire for him for this year. And a few weeks ago, I called him for his birthday because his birthday is in November. And I spoke some words over him like I do every year. And I didn't even realize that this was a tradition of mine. It's something that I simply do because that's who I am. And he was like, keep on speaking these things over me because every year what you speak over me comes true. And to have someone in your life that is able to mirror back to you your power to declare what you desire and for it to come to fruition. To have someone in your life mirror back to you the power of speaking life over others and using your words for service. To have someone in your life that you deeply care for, reflect back to you the love you have for them and the love that you have cultivated for yourself is priceless, y'all. And that's what it looks like to learn from these relationships, is to be open to seeing your people and to let them see you. And when you are in that space where they see you and you see them, y'all building something different. You're building something that can withstand time, that can withstand discomfort, that can withstand challenges, that can withstand shifting. And life is going to do all of that. Because when life is life, and y'all know it gets crazy, it gets real. And that's the gift that he has given me, is that reminder that my words are powerful and that my ability to speak that life unto others is a gift. It's a gift that I choose to share with him. And because I do that, he mirrors back to me what happens. And that feeds me into continuing to be that way because it feels amazing to pour into others in that way because of how much they pour into me. I want to talk about the 3 ways growing and learning from my friendships has made my life 1,000 times better. And I know I haven't told you about one of my friends yet. I got one more. The first way in which growing and learning from my friendships has made my life 1,000 times better, it has allowed me to just tap into new levels of me. I grew up not feeling like I could be myself. I grew up not feeling like I could express myself. I grew up not feeling like I was enough. I grew up feeling like I constantly needed to be changed. People around me were not affirming me as a child in the way that I now understand was important. And because of that, it can be really difficult for me to be me in all my glory. And I've done a lot of growth in this area. Hence why I could be here with you, sharing this and crying and being okay with it, being at peace with it. You know, I believe in the power of crying and the power of letting tears help us move through this energy. And because of this dynamics I have with my friendships, I've been willing to tap into parts of myself that I would have never tapped into out of that fear, out of shame, out of guilt. One of the things I grew up hearing was that I was too much. I was always doing the most. And it wasn't perceived, I didn't receive it to be a good thing or something that was being celebrated. Quite the opposite. I often felt like people wanted me to dumb it down and quiet it up a little bit. And this was extremely challenging for me because I wanted to express myself. I wanted to be free. And one thing that has happened because of my friendships, I've been able to tap into that freedom at a completely different level. I sit with my friend Kelly. And Kelly is the definition of extra. If you look up extra in the dictionary, Kelly's face is going to be on her. Because she just exudes that energy, that full ownership of self and expression of self through fashion and clothing and also love and food. And she's just an artist. And when I sit with her, I'm able to tap into that wholeness of myself because that's the area that I'm growing into more and more daily. And it is because of my friend that I'm able to tap into that. It is because of who she is in the world and how she chooses to show up in the world that when we are in the presence of each other, our energies can do this dance where we are tapping into each other's gifts to help us be better people and to share with others. And if that is not making my life 1,000 times better, I don't know what is. Because these relationships I just shared with you are the reason why I am who I am. Every single person I shared with you today is a catalyst. It's been a catalyst for my transformation, for the transformation of my clients. It has just been a beautiful, beautiful journey for us together. And I want to share with you how you can have that too. Because I know that you too desire to have amazing relationships in your life. That you desire to be surrounded by people that can mirror back to you the power of your words the way Ilbert mirrors that back to me. People that can remind you that you must be grounded in your faith in this walk because life is gonna life, baby, just like John Murray does for me. People that are gonna be able to show you that you've always been this way. You've always been amazing. You've always been dope to be around. You've always been a light in the world, just like Kevin does for me. People that are going to help you see that being authentic is okay, is celebrated, even when people don't think it's convenient. Just like JP does for me. And that you in your most extra, fullest expression of who you are is perfect. It's exactly what we need in this world. It is that full ownership of self that helps us shift and move mountains in here in a time when there's so much need for that self-leadership and self-ownership, just like Kelly reminds me. And that's why I'm going to make you an invitation. I make an invitation to come and experience those relationships, to experience those types of friendships. Because I know that you desire to live your life peacefully and joyfully. And I know that I'm the best person to support you on this walk. I've been doing it for over 13 years in a client capacity. And I've been doing it for as long as I can remember in a light capacity. There is a link below this video in the description box below for an authenticity audit. These authenticity audits, they are valued at $1,500. You can actually buy one in the description box below if you absolutely want to have one. If you're desiring to step into the next level version of yourself and you want to do it overflowing with inner peace, putting yourself first, enjoying your life, showing up powerfully, having friends in your life that can look out for you the way my people look out for me, because I'm not an anomaly, I'm a possibility, then these authenticity audits are for you. Especially if you are committed to prioritizing yourself and to do it with the support of high-level mentorship. In 45 minutes, we're going to map out the most easeful, joyful path to you being a more expanded version of yourself, to you prioritizing your joy, your inner peace, and to do it no matter what in 30 to 90 days. And this is a call that you want to book if you are committed to trusting your intuition at a deeper level, to facing triggers with calm no matter what's going on, to nourishing your body with compassion and self-discipline, to release borrowed beliefs that are no longer serving you. This is for those of you that desire to build relationships, to co-create loving bonds with your birth family, with your chosen family, and even strangers on the street. This is for you. If you want to work with me, if you are desiring to be a more joyful version of yourself, being the best version of yourself, you want to make sure you book one of these authenticity audits because they're going to be transformational. I'm not joking. Don't take my word for it. Book one of them and see what happens. Watch the magic in real time. This week I have 5 of them available. You can click on the link in the description box below to book it and apply for one of them. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side of it. Let's co-create some magic. You ready for a bonus? So you can drop a sunflower for me if you would like me to share this bonus with you while I grab some water, y'all. I'm really pouring my heart out to you out here. And I love this for me. And I love this for you. Because this is only going to show you what it's like to walk on this path. And that's what we're doing, babes. So let's get into the bonus. The best way to grow and learn from your friendships and to do it full of acceptance, full of inner peace and ease and calm, right? Because we can do this with inner peace and we can move through it with calm and with ease. Oh yeah. You ready? You got your journal ready? Okay. The best way to do this is to release expectations and sugarcoating in your relationships. It's 2 parts. The first part is to release expectations and sugarcoating. We be in these relationships, y'all, and we want people to sugarcoat things for us. We want people to agree with the things that we're saying. We want people to okay the stuff that we know our intuition done already said, yo, why are you doing this? We want people to be like, yeah, girl, do that. Yes. That is the energy that's associated with victimhood. That is the energy that's associated with conditioning that doesn't put you in power. That is the energy that I was sitting in. That's the energy of wanting to be a people pleaser or wanting people to do for me what I wasn't doing for me. You heard that? That's the energy that we are not in alignment with when we are moving on the path of being intuitive and on the path of being in inner peace. And it's important that we release that energy because we want to see things clearly. When we see things clearly, we can be intentional about how we show up. And when we have expectations of people, of ourselves, or our relationship, we're not able to step into that because we're not seeing things clearly because we're wearing the glasses of the expectations. And that doesn't serve us. So once we release those expectations and the sugarcoating, Here's what we want to tap into. We want to embrace accepting ourselves and others as they are. That has been the key. Accepting myself and accepting others where they are and as they are. I'm not the person that's about to be booking my whole weekend with activities for everybody and their mama and not have space for me. That's no longer who I am. And that means that there will be moments where, guess what? I won't be talking to a friend during that time because I'm taking that time for me. And that's okay, y'all. It is okay that that happens. There are moments where your friends are not going to be reaching out to you when you want them to reach out to you. And that's okay, babes, because they are living lives as well. They are in their own journey. And you've cultivated a partnership with these people now that's not going to shake the foundation of your relationship. And that can only occur when you allow yourself to release expectations, release sugarcoating, and step into the power that comes from embracing, accepting people where they are and accepting yourself where you are. Especially yourself, because when you accept yourself, it's easier to accept others. All right? And that's the bonus. In the next video, we're going to talk about designing your ultimate life. I have not always lived this way. I told you I used to be depressed. I was living in DC and I was depressed because it was snowing. The job where I was at was not giving, and I felt like I needed to be there. I felt stuck in that situation. I didn't feel like I had a choice. And you see where I am now? The sun is kissing on me. It's loving on me. I live about 1.5 miles from the beach. It just feels good to say that because I remember when I was not living here and what that felt like. And you can have that. Your dream life may not be to be 1.5 miles from the beach. It may be something else. Whatever it is, let's talk about what it takes to put it into action. In the next video, I'm going to share with you my process for designing and redesigning my life with full of inner peace and inner joy. So for those of you that are submitting your applications to work with me, I look forward to seeing you on the other side. I am Yanori Pouncil. I am the guiding light and spiritual teacher to intuitive leaders that are being the most authentic version of themselves, prioritizing their joy, putting themselves first in every single area of their lives, trusting their intuition, overflowing with inner peace, and enjoying themselves every single step of the way. Mis Amores, did this serve you today? Because I am here to make sure you see things clearly. Remember, you are a whole vibe. Go and shine your light in the world because we are yearning for more and more of your authenticity. Have an amazing rest of your day. We'll see you in the next video. And hasta luego.